Okay. Believe the camera is rolling.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's a Kaka. You are welcome. Good morning. It's a Kennedy.
Good morning.
You are welcome.
Good morning.
Palimon. You are welcome to today's episode of the Anthony Billionaires Business School. And everybody watching from anywhere in the world, you are welcome. And I believe that what we are going to discuss today will also be of great benefit to us. Please, when you are talking, kindly speak up a bit so that your voice will be well captured. Okay, so what we want to talk about today in a simple term is invocation. What does it mean to invoke? And how does this invocation help us? How has it been helping? And how has people been invoking? Now, the idea of invoking somebody or something is about like calling on somebody or calling on a spirit. But the topic today is based on a book we have been reviewing, we have been reading. The book is titled Creative Visualization by Shakti Gawain. Creative Visualization, that's the title of the book. And the topic, invocation, is what we want to discuss on today. Now, I believe, gentlemen, we have heard and read about this topic, invocation, as this author, as she mentioned.
Yeah.
So I would like to start with Izzy Kennedy. What's your take on the topic, invocation? What are the excerpts? What did you get from reading it?
Thank you, Nzobi Danilo Ukompo. And viewers, you're all welcome. Invocation, simply put, means calling up being or energy that can help you.
Okay.
It has to do with energy or spirit. So that is energies like love, according to the author of that book.
Okay.
Love, strength, and goodness. When you are doing this invocation, assuming you want to call up a master like Jesus, you are calling his love, because he is described as love, and all what he did on earth is love.
Okay.
You are calling up that energy of love to overtake whatever you are doing and do exactly what you want in the affirmation and meditation you are doing.
Okay.
So that is calling up energy to help you in whatever you are doing. Maybe through a master who has lived and practiced such things.
Mm. Okay. In our culture, we are from the eastern part of Nigeria, the Igbo sect precisely. Now, we do, like in our tradition, our culture, even before the advent of religion like Islam or Christianity, or we have our own form of religion or worship. And if you meet with a priest of, in our culture, he does invocation in one way or the other.
Yes.
Okay. And like that time you want to go and do divination, you want to ask for a question, like when a child is born, you want to know who has come back or who is this child. Okay.
As per reincarnation.
As per reincarnation or whatever you may call it. They, like each person, they will say, this person is maybe the grandfather that has died, has come back. Even somewhere in the Bible, I think there's something like reincarnation there too, where they said Elijah, that John the Baptist is like is the Elijah that came back. But let's just zero it in on our own culture and how it can really help us. So I want to ask Palimon, before we go into how we can use invocation to assist us precisely. Invocation, how do you see it? Away from the book, the topic we are looking at, from the book, the way the author has said it, in your own way, from even before you come across this book, what's your view about invocation?
All right, thank you, Engineer Chidi. I want to thank you for that question. Actually, this topic is somehow away from those discussions we have been having here before now.
Okay.
When you say invocation,
Yeah.
it's all about the act of invoking,
Okay.
trying to invoke out a spirit.
Okay.
It can be an energy, it can be a quality, or other things that goes in the spirit also.
Okay.
Trying to invoke out that quality of thing you needed to assist you to achieve an end result.
Okay.
Especially when you need help. We should narrow it to our traditional area. It's all about what these our elders who are in the traditional setting does when there is something amiss and they need clarity.
Okay.
And they need guidance.
Yes.
Somehow they try to invoke out certain spirits to assist them to, get them properly acquainted or briefed about what transpired,
Okay.
which possibly the physical eyes does not really know much about. That is what I understand about invocation. Okay. When you invoke, bring out certain things,
when you call on
stronger spirits to assist
you
to achieve certain results.
Like there was a case somewhere. Like there was this situation where I heard when they are looking for something, some people maybe something get lost, or there was a case of maybe theft or issue of trust. Group of people will say let them go and ask. Go to a native diviner, a native doctor, a native diviner, to know exactly who is responsible for what happened. That's our traditional detective measure. Okay, good. So sometimes they will pinpoint that this is the person that did this thing. Sometimes, and sometimes I heard that there may be a mistake. Okay, so this thing is being practiced, but from what the author is saying is you call forth a personality that can help you. But before I go further on that, I'd like to ask Kaka. You have heard what the Kennedy and Parliament said. What will you say to this topic, invocation?
For me, invocation is a spiritual thing.
Okay.
It's a spiritual thing because you are calling for a higher power. That is why you're saying when you want something, you invoke.
Okay.
We invoke. By invoking, you are contacting a higher power which is not within you. And so you have handed over those things you desire to that power to take care of it. That is invocation. You stay in your house, you invoke. You want this, you want this, you want that, And you are talking to a higher power that will help that thing to actualize. That is my understanding, brief understanding about the word invocation.
Invocation.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, very good. Like Izekaka said, and Palimon and the Kennedy mentioned, to invoke means to call on a spirit being or a higher power, someone to say, okay, come and assist. Somebody says that some people say, when you are looking for something, be careful. Don't go and ask the devil, because the devil does not give anything free.
Yes, exactly.
If he gives you this, he will collect this,
from the back.
And what he will collect will be more than what he's even giving you.
More damaging.
Okay, so His Highness is not here today. Unavoidably, he's preparing for something. Okay, so he lost his mom not too long ago, so he's running around to put things in place for the burial that is coming up next month. So that's why he's not with us at the palace today. I'm sure he will have his own point of view. But if there's a way, maybe in our next Zoom meeting, we might record it and let our viewers also have an idea of what we discussed there. Okay, now, like this author mentioned, that you can even invoke the spirit of Jesus that is already within us.
Yes.
And any quality we want that of any person that we admire. Take for example, maybe now that Mandela is not alive anymore, that somebody can also invoke the spirit of Mandela.
Yes.
Okay, to come into him, to guide him. Okay, now I also believe that invocation has to, like we are talking about subconscious mind here, and we have come to understand that subconscious mind is our own spirit. Can we also invoke our own spirit? Is it Kennedy?
Yes, really we can, because like we have been learning here, we have conscious mind and subconscious mind.
Yes.
Whatever we are doing, the conscious mind is the one we are using now. But your subconscious mind is in there. It is a spirit in you.
Yeah.
So based on that, it is when what you have in your conscious mind registers permanently in your subconscious mind. That is when it brings out that result you are affirming, you are looking for, you are meditating on.
Yeah.
So based on that, you say that this subconscious brain is in us.
Okay.
That is, you are still calling your higher self. And a higher self interacts with the universal energy. So, and when you have something like a role model like Jesus Christ, he is love, and all he did is love. All what he taught is love. You are looking at him, and then you are telling your subconscious, I need love. I want love to pervade everywhere. I want love to do this or that. What it means, you are invoking that higher person spirit in you, and you are looking towards a person who has lived and practiced what you want to happen or what you want to use to solve a problem.
Okay, like what you just said, let me just read out the last 2 paragraphs of this topic, what the author said. She says, I read, if there's any particular master or teacher or hero with whom you resonate, call upon him or her through invocation whenever you feel the need to manifest his or her special qualities within yourself. This type of meditation works beautifully when there is a special skill or talent that you wish to cultivate. For example, if you are studying music or art, call upon any great master in these fields whom you especially admire. Picture him or her supporting and helping you, and feel the person's creative energy and genius flowing through you. It is not necessary to incorporate any personal problems or weaknesses he or she may have had. You are summoning the person in his or her highest aspect. Many amazing results can be achieved through this meditation. Okay, sorry if you are hearing any sound aside from what we are having here. There's work going on in the palace, outside the palace, in preparation for the burial. Construction is going on, so please bear with us. Okay, now from what we have seen here, now let's talk about how this can be of help to us. How to call, how to invoke a spirit. Now, when we invoke, we do not advise that you call on a spirit that will take from you something that you dearly desire. As a matter of fact, like His Highness has been saying that everything is our human creation and all that. Okay, like we said, we all have our own opinion regarding this, but it is what you experience that you will believe more. Okay, now what we are saying here is that you can invoke your own spirit to answer you. Is that not what we are saying here?
Your higher self.
Your higher self. We are not asking you to go and consult a medium or a spirit that at the end of the day we start having issues. And as a way of caveat, whatever you hear from us is for knowledge, is to be of help to you. Okay, it's not in any way for you to use, and maybe because you don't know how you are using it. So we are not really responsible for the outcome you get. We are only giving knowledge, information. How you use it is strictly your business. Okay, and your result good. We trust that to be good will be for you. But however outcome it is, you are 100% responsible for it. Okay. Please, we want to talk about, gentlemen, we want to talk about how this thing, let's tailor it down to us as we round up this podcast or this discussion. Mr. Kaka, how can you use invocation to help you? Is it by praying to God or say your prayer, or is there another way?
Particularly,
Yeah.
if I have something I'm looking at or pursuing,
Okay.
I do invocations
Okay.
my own way. I do it privately, until it comes to reality. It works.
Okay.
That thing you have in mind, that thing you are pursuing, from time to time you meditating about it, you'll be talking about it. Maybe when you want to go to sleep,
Okay.
you talk about it. You talk about it, from there you go off. When you wake up in the morning, you talk about it. You talk about
You don't want to let it continually be on your mind.
Yes, continually talking about it.
Okay.
It works. It has worked for me.
So as you talk about it, your higher self or your subconscious or your spirit guide or whatever you call it, will take it as a command that yes, this is what we want. This is what we want, and we go all out to organize the universe to make that happen. Yeah. Okay. Mr. Kennedy, when you want, like, from what you have, what is the Kaka just mentioned now.
Yeah.
Now, how do you ensure that, like, something happened? There's something you got, and you mentioned before we start shooting that you were saying specifically what you wanted.
Yeah.
And the thing, it was when you got it that you now realized that you are looking for is exactly what you want. So can you say a bit about that?
Yeah, I was about saying that before you asked this question. The thing is very clear. I was looking for a phone that has 8 gig RAM.
Okay.
In my affirmation, in my meditation, in my visual board, what I kept clearly there is 8 gig RAM phone.
Okay.
But when I was looking for phones, I was seeing 4 gig that can be expanded, 5 gig that can be expanded. I wasn't comfortable with that. I continued to look, but on a particular day, just last week, I went into one shop, and I've been consulting my inner self, saying this is what I want, doing the affirmation, doing the meditation, doing the affirmation.
Yeah.
And if I see the ones that are lesser, they'll tell me you can expand it to this. I will go home. They'll tell me. Till that day, as I just walked into that shop, I saw the thing. I didn't know I asked, can I read through it? It said 8 gig RAM.
Wow.
I said, this is what I want. And
wow.
There it goes.
Because you have been affirming, your mind is on it. That's even when others that are not up to that, No, you don't.
I don't want them.
Okay.
So it came to reality, and I remember, oh, this thing I'm taught, these things I'm practicing really works.
I believe it. The thing is, what I believe is that every day we create, as long as you are thinking. But what we are doing here, we are having a better understanding of what is really happening. So we are being deliberate now. Okay,
Yes.
we are being deliberate, intentional in getting or achieving whatever you want. Okay, Parliament. This invocation, how personally, how can you use it to improve on relationship with people and character?
Okay, thank you. When we discuss this invocation, like that paragraph you read, there were certain areas it was expressed about those you admire, those you think they are role models, which you want to emulate. You try to invoke their character or their spirit into being. You practice those areas that are positive and try to abandon those areas that are negative. Of course, every human being.
Sometimes from what you said, you should sometimes imagine that, okay, Jesus Christ is directing you.
I'm coming there.
Yeah.
Everyone has positive and negative aspect of life, but you try to emulate those areas that are positive. Like some of us are Christian. Myself, I'm a Christian. We are taught to always do things the Christ-like way. And my role model is Jesus Christ.
Okay.
In anything I do, be it morning, afternoon, or evening, I try to call on Christ into my, situation.
Okay.
And that is a way of trying to invoke Him, the Christ-like life, into whatever I do. It represents love, wisdom, and other positive things that goes with it. So by so doing, when you try to invoke this character into your life, daily lifestyle, it will also help to shape the person you wish to be. Good. If you say you are Christ-like or a Christian, do you behave like a Christ-like person?
Well, if you say that now, if you say Christ-like, people may have different opinion about it, because they will say, okay, if I'm a Muslim, so what are the attributes of Muhammad?
Yes.
If you are a Buddhist, you say, what are the attributes of Buddha? Okay, so it is easy to say it, but it's another thing to practice it. But what we are saying here is that when you are meditating, or like in the Kaka measure, if you are about going to bed, see yourself behaving behaving the way you want to behave, relating with people. Maybe if you are the impatient type, or you easily get irritated, you have to be humble enough to accept that this is your character. Maybe this is a flaw in you.
Yeah.
Because some people, no matter, they will say no, they are perfect. They are okay. Their character is that person that is strong. Okay? You have to be humble enough to say, okay, if this thing is not working, what is it that I am not doing right? If you cannot pinpoint your hand on it, what you should do is look at somebody you want to emulate, that you like the character, okay, and start calling forth that, like for example, Jesus is in me, I behave like Jesus. You can even make it an affirmation.
Yes.
I believe that Jesus, any situation that comes my way, I reason the way Jesus reasons, I talk the way Jesus talks. When you keep affirming this, you realize that you don't realize people will see the changes in you. Or maybe you want to be smart or smarter than the way you behave now. Or you want assistance, of financial assistance or spiritual assistance. You can be saying that God is directing me. God is leading me I am doing the right thing at the right time. I'm seeing positive things that my life needs. So with that, we are invoking. We are calling on God. We are calling on higher power to help us. So that is what we are talking about here today. You don't need to consult. Like, okay, before we stop, there was this book we have mentioned here before, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, by Dr. Joseph Murphy. The author there, in this book, there was something he was looking for. Something very important to him. They call it a heirloom. It's like a heirloom is something like, it's for like inheritance. Like you need to have a heirloom to show that yes, you are entitled to something or something like that. He misplaced. He doesn't know where the thing was. So he searched and searched and he didn't get it. He now said in the night, he understood the idea of calling on your inner mind, your subconscious. He said in the night, before he slept, he spoke to himself, his higher self, just as if he's talking to, like the way I'm talking to you now. Yes, he just said, he said something within this frame. He said, he called my inner man or something like that. I know you know all things. You know where this heirloom is, this thing I'm looking for is. And you guide me to locate it where it is. Thank you. Something like that. He said something and he slept off. He said the following morning, he woke up with a thought in his mind. Ask Robert. Ask Robert. Ask Robert. We're like, ask Robert. He knows that the only Robert around him, that within his environment that time, within his neighborhood, his household there, was a 9-year-old boy. So, why would he ask Robert for this very important thing? But he said from his experience, he followed the nudging, the intuition, the nudging. Yes. He now went to ask the boy, Robert, he now described that thing. Yeah. Because the boy may not know what is a heirloom. Yes. He now described it like, Robert, this is something, this is how it looks like, this is how it. And to his surprise, he said, Robert now said, oh yes, I saw something like that when I was playing with my friends. I saw it in the field. I don't know what it is, but I just kept it somewhere. It's on the cupboard inside my house, inside my room. Let me go and get it for you. That was how he got that thing. Because before he slept, he called, he invoked his higher self. He spoke to his higher self like he's talking to, and that's just one example. There are several, but time will not permit us to list them all. And even when you go to meet a native doctor, like they call the one that you are sure of, not the native doctor of today that, and it's not the one that people go and say they want to use native diabolic means to cause problem for somebody. No, because there's always a boomerang to that. Okay, that's a consequence to that. But we are talking of whatever it is you want. You can call on yourself, call on your higher self, call on Jesus. If you feel Jesus is too distant from you, or you say God is too distant, that after you have prayed before not happen, why don't you try calling on yourself? Because God is also in you. You can invoke God in you, and it will happen. So I don't know if anybody has anything to add before we call it a wrap for today. Okay. No, I think we have talked. So if you have any question or you want more explanation, please endeavor to make comment on it and ask any question in the comment section. And remember to like and subscribe so that anytime we record and post a video, you will be notified. Turn on the bell notification icon, because what you are talking about here is life. It's somehow what you use to live a more beautiful life, the way we are living it. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So until we see you again, or you see us again, please have a wonderful time. Cheers.